Yeah, people of God, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I'm super happy to have you here with me, and I'm very sure that by God's grace, this video is going to benefit your life. So, in this video, we are going to be talking about the Pec-g scholarship for undergraduate studies in Brazil, and this is a way in which the Brazilian government is using to attract undergraduate exchange students to Brazil for undergraduate studies. And it is only applicable to undergraduate studies, it's not applicable to postgraduate studies like master's or PhD. So it's strictly for vacancies that are available at the undergraduate level. So, and many people are using it. This program takes students from about 74 countries, all listed on the Pec-g website. If you check it, you will see it. I'll be putting links to important things, including this, in the description of this video, so you can go there to check. So um, basically, you apply and then you move to Brazil to start your studies. But there are some things that are involved, and that is what I'm going to be explaining in this video. There is no specific quota for any country. Application and award of those applications is based on the vacancies that are available and the qualifications of all the applicants that are applying, and how early they apply, and other things and other factors like that. So now there's something also called the Pec-PLE. This is a simultaneous Brazilian program. It's a Brazilian language program that is focuses on ensuring that the Pec-g student understands Portuguese before they start their studies. The reason is because most of the undergraduate programs that are involved in Pec-g are taught in Portuguese. And this simply means that any student who wants to study in Portuguese must understand Portuguese, must know how to read and write, and then listen, speak, and understand Portuguese. So the PEC-PLE is a program that simultaneously focuses on that, ensuring that you understand it. This PEC-PLE usually run for the first year of the Pec-g, and then you take an exam, the syllabus exam. Once you pass the exam, you will then be allowed to go and start your bachelor's program. Now, let's talk about the offers of the Pec-g undergraduate level. What are the offers? What does it offer you? The first thing it offers you is offer you a free admission vacancy for complete undergraduate course. So everything you'll be doing is free. It's going to give you a free admission vacancy, not paying any tuition at all. Then courses are available in all areas of knowledge. It is left for you to now explore the Pec-g website and all the higher education institutions that are participating to check the courses that you can apply to and make your choice. Then the application is free. Free application every year at the Brazilian embassies, consulates in participating country. So once you have determined the courses you want to do at this and the institution you're going to be doing it, next thing for you is to visit the embassy and check there to know when you are expected to submit your documents. So, because you're going to be submitting all your documents, all the documents that are required. So they will now be the one to help you process the submission of the documents to the higher education institutions that would admit you. I hope you get that now. So that is that. Then the one last thing I should be mentioning is that after graduation from the bachelor's program as a PhD student, you are required to return to your home country. It is stated clearly on the website. So you're using PhD, you have to prepare your mind that after your studies, you have to return back to your home country. Now let's talk about the Pec-g-PLE Portuguese course offer. So what does the Pec-g-PLE Portuguese course offer? So the Pec-g PLE offer free vacancy for Portuguese language and Brazilian culture course studies. So that one is for you to study the language, and it's also free to learn the Portuguese language and everything for free. And then the duration of that course, like I explained the other time, is approximately 1 year. After that 1 year, you'll be required to write the self browse exam. So you have to write it and pass the self browse exam if you don't have any knowledge of Portuguese or any certification of Portuguese language before. Then after you have written it and pass it, that self browse is the official certificate of proficiency in Brazilian Portuguese. So after you have written and pass it, that is when you will not be allowed. You will be allowed to go and start your undergraduate program at the Brazilian higher education institutions. So now, like I explained, you have to take the exam and pass it. So that is basically it. Students who already have Portuguese language and they know Portuguese will not need to go through the PEC-PLE program, and they will not need to write the sub-brass if they already have a certification for it. Maybe they already have the sub-brass before, or they have an average of about 65 in their Portuguese language before. They won't need to go through all that, all the PEC-PLE again. Now let's talk about the benefits of the Pec-g. The benefit of the Pec-g includes the following. There is free admission for complete undergraduate course, plus free admission for Portuguese language, to learn Portuguese language, and in the case of PEC-PLE students, so you're not going to be paying any money for that. And there is also free access to medical, dental, and pharmaceutical care, pharmaceutical assistance that you might need. Ideally, in Brazil, public health care is free, and so by extension, while you are there, you're going to have free access to all these benefits as well. Then, number three is that you receive your diploma. When you want to get a certificate, lastly, after your studies, you're going to be getting it legalized by the embassy, because you're going to be getting it from the embassy. So it will have already been legalized already by the time you'll be getting it. That's another very great advantage that is great. You won't have to be going to legalization again if you want to go and use that certificate in any other country or in your home country or anything like that. It is already legalized and apostilled, depending on the Brazil agreement with your own country. Some country will have to get legalization, while some other country will get apostille. So now, access to higher education institutions, service and assistance. So once you are already a PEC-g student, all the benefits, all the services that are available at the higher education institution, like the library and other things like that, you will have access to them and you'll be able to use it like any other Brazilian students. Then in some cases, you might also win a scholarship if your performance or your application documents are really outstanding. You can win scholarship. So now let's talk about the vacancy. Every year, the in at the higher education institutions in Brazil, there are almost about 8,000 undergraduate vacancies that are available for PEC-g applicants. So this shows that they really want a lot of students to come in, and if you apply, the probability that you are going to be getting it is very high. And about 109 higher educational institutions are participating, and there are about 280 different courses that are participating in this program, and all Brazilian states are involved in this program because all the higher education institutions are distributed around all the states in Brazil. I hope you understand that. That's great. Now let's talk about the general requirements. The general requirements include the following. Number one, you must be a national of the country participating in the program. You must not be a Brazilian, and you must not be born to Brazilian parents. The third one is that you must live outside Brazil. Number four is that you must not hold any type of visa for Brazil except tourist visa. And then you must be at least 18 years old by January 1st of that year that you are making that application. And then you must have completed or be completing secondary education in a country other than Brazil. And then you must have a general secondary school average of at least 60%. Of at least 60%. You must have a general secondary school average of at least 60%, which is a C. I hope you get that now. Then the point number 8 is that you must meet the language requirements. I will still be discussing the language requirements later. So, but very, very important, you must meet the language requirements. And then the last requirement is the financial requirements. You must have people back home who are ready to send you a minimum of $300 every month while you are in Brazil. This is to ensure that you are financially insured while studying in Brazil. These people that are going to be sending you this money can be one person, two person, or as many number of people. As long as the total money they be sending to you is a minimum of $300 and they are already. Yeah, language requirements. So, like I have said, the language requirement is divided into two categories. Those who have studied Portuguese before at their secondary school, or they already have language of Portuguese language um, history or knowledge, and those who did not study Portuguese language in their secondary school and does not have any Portuguese knowledge at all. So, for those who studied Portuguese as an official language at the secondary school, so they can present a self-BRA certificate. If they don't have that, they can present a proof of application for the next self-BRA exam. If they don't have that, they can also present an intermediate level certificate of a Portuguese language course by Instituto Gamara Rosa HEIs. If they don't have that, they can their transcript, secondary school transcript will be evaluated to check if they meet an overall average of about 65% in all the Portuguese language subjects that they took in their secondary school. So if they meet an average of 65%, then they will be considered to be able to understand Portuguese and they will be allowed to proceed to their studies without going for the PEC-PLE um, Portuguese course for 1 year before they start their program. So now, for those who did not study Portuguese as an official language as their secondary school, they will still need to present the self-BRA certificate if they have it or if they have later done it or it is ready, or the proof that they have already applied for the next exam. They can present that as well if they don't have the self-BRA certificates or the intermediate level certificate from the IGR if they have it. If they don't have any of those three, they their transcript will be evaluated and their official language, English for example, all the English related courses, all the English language courses that they took, it will be checked if they meet uh, at least an average of 60 percent in the official language. So if they meet 60% in that official language, then they will be allowed to proceed, but they will have to go for the PEC-PLE program, run the Portuguese course, and then write the CEBRA exam. When they now pass the CEBRA exam, they will now be allowed to go and start their undergraduate course. That is how it works. So now let's go for the financial sponsorship. For the financial sponsorship, the minimum amount to be sent to the student monthly, like I have explained before, is 300 United States dollar. And your sponsor must prove a net monthly income of at least 3 times higher than the amount they are required to send to you. For example, if your sponsor is going to be sending to you $300 per month, that your sponsor must be earning at least 3 times $300 higher than $300. I will explain so you can understand it. $300 plus 3 times $300, that is $300 plus $900, that is $1,200. So someone who wants to be sending you $300 must be earning at least $1,200 per month. It does not have to be one person, it could be two, three, or even more. As long as when they are all assessed together, they all meet both the requirement of the amount they will be sending to you and that amount of the total amount that they themselves must be earning, all put together. So that is to ensure that you are financially secured while you are studying in Brazil. Now, that your financial sponsor may be an individual, like I said, maybe a member of your family, a friend, an employer, or a legal entity like government, NGOs, or even companies. So if you have more than one sponsor, the promised amount that they be sending to you must sum up to must be greater than or equal to $300 per month. And each sponsor must present the following document: the statement of financial responsibility, that's like an undertaking that they will be sending to you a so amount of money every month, and then proof of income, their proof of income that proves that they are actually getting times four, at least times four of the amount that you need. Let me get that. Good. So now how to apply. That is very, very easy and straightforward for the how to apply. So you just have to fill the online application form. The link to that is available on the Pec-g website. I also try to include some of the links in the description of this video. You can check it out. So once you fill the form, the next thing is to research the higher education institutions for the available courses and decide the vacancy that you will be applying to. So then after you have decided, the next thing for you is to contact the Brazilian embassy or consulate or any diplomatic mission that's available in your country, or the nearest one if there is none in your country and your country is still a participant of this Pec-g. So you ask them for how and when to submit. They give you all the information. After you have all that information, the next thing for you to do is to gather all the required documents together. Then after gathering all the required documents together, you submit them at the embassy. So now, after you've done the submission, the next thing for you to do is to complete every other requirement that the embassy might require you to do. Complete all other things that you need to do on the embassy or the consulate. Now, we need to talk about the required documents. What are the documents that are actually required generally? Documents required include the certificate of completion of an high school or equivalent document, or declaration of probable graduation by end of the previous year or end of the year, or you will have graduated before the start of your studies, of your undergraduate studies in Brazil. You'll be needing an original copy and a photocopy of that document. You also need to submit completion of secondary school reports with grades obtained throughout. So that's like a transcript of all your academic performances from your JSS1 to SS3. You need to submit that as well. Then you need to submit your birth certificates or identification documents of the applicants. And then the mother, the father, that mentions the bearer's parentage, place, and date of birth. All this is to prove that you yourself are a non-Brazilian. You were also born to parents who are not Brazilians, and you were not born in Brazil. So that is why they need those documents. Then the next thing we'll be talking about is the physical and mental health certificate issued in the previous year. Yeah, if you get that, or issued that same year. So you use it for the application. And then statement of financial responsibility in Portuguese. A template to use for this available on the website, on the Pec-g website. This will be filled by your sponsors. So that is where they will make an undertaking that they will be sending you so amount of money every month while you are in Brazil. And then the next one is uh, proof of their net income. Proof of the net income of your financial sponsors. You have to submit document proving that as as well. Then after all that, you need to submit translations If any of the documents you'll be submitting is not in English, French, Portuguese, or Spanish, then you have to translate it from whatever document, from whatever language it is, and you notarize it, the translation. So you submit a notarized translation to the embassy. So then the last thing there as document is the self-brass certificate, that is the proof of Portuguese language. I think it's told is very, very important. Or the proof that you have already registered for the next exam or the intermediate level certification of IGR Portuguese course. So you will need to submit any of those for you to be taken fully serious. So now, someone was asking me that when is Pec-g going to start and stuff like that. Now let's quickly go into the calendar of the activities. So from July 18 this year, we are going to be filling out the online pre-application form. The link of this is on the Pec-g website. And you can also check the description of this video. You might be able to see it there. Then August 23rd, that is the deadline to present your documents at the embassy or consulate or any other diplomatic mission that is used for that purpose. Then the next thing is that September 19th, before I go to that September 9th, August 5th to August 16th, that is when the registration for the Celbra happens, and you have to register for it within that period so that you can have your evidence of registration ready and submit it on or before August 23, which is the deadline to present your document at the embassy. And then September 9 is the deadline to complete your application at the embassy or consulate. From October 25, that's when the preliminary results period will start to inform of acceptance, withdrawal, or request for change of vacancy, stuff like that. So now, then from November 14th, that's when the final result will be released. And then from November 25, you contact the school over there for the requirement of enrollment, how to give out the enrollment, and stuff like that. So the contact of all the higher education institutions that are participating will be available on the Pec-g website, so you can easily check it and you use it to ask or make inquiry about the enrollment. So that's basically it. I have come to the end of this video and I'm super happy that you stayed to the end of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you God's favor as you make your application for the Pec-g, and I wish you safe trips when you're journeying to Brazil. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.